The Bryce Young slander is ridiculous and it needs to stop. It's been a few weeks now since Bryce Young became the new quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, and let's just say as a lifelong Panthers fan, I am absolutely stoked. I cannot wait for this season to start. This is the best feeling I've had about a Panthers team in quite some time after 2.5 years of Matt Rule bringing us straight to Dysfunctionville. We are finally heading in the right direction, it appears. It feels like Scott Fitterer, David Tepper, and Frank Reich have finally figured this thing out, and we are going places. Because we have the right combination of veterans and young players that I think we can be very, very successful. And I am very excited to see what Bryce Young can do in the black and blue as the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. And the hype around fans right now is absolutely insane. I mean, we're getting to see Bryce Young throw the ball for the first time in practice, his jerseys are flying off the shelves. It's a great time to be a Panthers fan. So the fan hype around him is pretty high, and I think they have a right for that. However, NFL analysts have not been so kind to Bryce Young. They've been rather critical, and I'm all for criticism when it's like really showing a flaw, but this is downright disrespect, okay? This is a perfect example. ESPN's Doug Kearson said the other day that he believed that the Carolina Panthers were actually going to be worse this year as a team, and that they had actually downgraded at the quarterback position. And to that I say, you would seriously rather have Sam Darnold, who by the way is an interception machine. He only threw 7 passing touchdowns this entire year, and he just wasn't a winner. He's not going to be a winner. He never will be a winner. And you would rather have that than Bryce Young, who took over college football. He was the best player in 2021. He was arguably just as good in 2022. If Bryce Young would have been draft eligible as a sophomore, he was going to be the number 1 overall pick. The only reason that Doug Kearson says this about Bryce Young, the reason he says that we downgraded at quarterback, is because Bryce Young is 5'10". The only reason, that is the only proof he has. He does not have any football-esque thing other than the fact that Bryce Young is 5'10". Sam Darnold is much bigger. I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4", but I don't care because Sam Darnold can't throw a football. If that was the case, if we really cared about size, why don't we just go get Will Levis, right? And everybody knows how I feel about Will Levis. David Kearson is out of his mind on this one. Bryce Young is going to be a talented quarterback. He's going to be better than Sam Darnold. I think he has great potential, but it gets worse. Because NBC's Chris Sims every single year does like a top 40 quarterbacks. He ranked Bryce Young 38th. Now, I'm not trying to say that, Bryce Young should be in the top 10. I'm not even saying he should be in the top 15. But what I am saying is there is no way he is the 38th best quarterback. Number one, he's not even ranked as the best quarterback on his team. I know this because Andy Dalton hasn't been ranked yet, and at this point, he's been known as the week 1 starter for the Panthers. Now, I know this isn't going to be true. Bryce Young's going to beat him out in training camp, and he'll be the week 1 starter. But the one that really gets me is the fact that these backup quarterbacks, such as Mike White, Jarrett Stidham, and Taylor Heineke, are all ranked above Bryce Young. And then you throw in the 2 other rookies that were selected with Bryce Young in the first round, which is CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson. They're both also above Bryce Young. There's a reason Bryce Young was taken first overall and not CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson. So the fact that all 3 of them have not played a game of NFL football, but yet they're ranking the 2nd and 4th pick in the NFL draft above the number 1 pick, that's ridiculous. I've never seen this done to a number 1 overall pick. Usually it's like the total opposite. They're like hyping them up to be like a top 5 quarterback within their first year, and they're not doing that this year. In fact, it's the polar opposite. I think it's downright disrespectful. But I cannot wait to see Bryce Young prove all these analysts wrong, make them look like the biggest idiots on the planet halfway through his first season of NFL football.